Hello, welcome to our demo for the CSCE 492 Capstone project. I'm Francis, the project manager and head of the mechanics team.
I'm Gerald, the lead screen designer and head of the aesthetics team.
I'm Giles, the overworld and asset designer on the aesthetics team.
I'm Brody, the lead debugger on the mechanics team.
And I'm Dimitri, the lead gameplay designer and storyboard writer on the mechanics team.
Today we're going to introduce you to our brand new turn-based role-playing game, The Legend of the Wordsmith. This is a turn-based RPG game on the Windows operating system designed around solving anagrams to test your vocabulary. In this game, you play as a legendary warrior traversing vast regions to become the ultimate linguist. You'll fight enemies and gain companions, all while having fun.
Are you tired of seeing the same old word games like Scrabble or Wordle on your computer? Do you wish there was a new way to test your knowledge of the English language in a fun and interactive way? Our game addresses this exact problem. When designing The Legend of the Wordsmith, we wanted to make something that combined elements of the turn-based role-playing genre into traditional word games to spice them up and get people excited about expanding their vocabulary.
Basically, we wanted to address the boredom and lack of tension users experience when playing a standard word game. Take this Scrabble match, for example. Sure, it's interesting, but there's no intensity or choices in the gameplay. You just type a word and get points. Now look at our game. We have knights and golems and warlocks. You can attack, you can defend, you can use items, you can cast spells like Merlin, and you get that same word game feel with a nice fantasy aesthetic. Pretty cool, huh? Our game can be enjoyed by anyone, from older people looking for a fun word game to younger RPG enthusiasts.
Legend of the Wordsmith is a Python-based game developed through the Visual Studio IDE. Using the Pygame Python package as our framework, we coded several object templates to use in our game, such as Battle Screen, which is now over 800 lines long, and Character, to use for our in-game objects. To create our different save states, we coded gamesave.py to import and export .json files with the necessary data. Then, with the help of the PyInstaller package, we can bundle all our required Python elements and packages into one neat .exe file to run on Windows. All you need to do is drag in the provided assets folder, and you're ready to play our game. Our game operates using over 500 files and has been in development for the past 8 months.
Our game was developed collaboratively using GitHub. As we developed new releases of the game, we received feedback from our peers and our instructor in class. We used this feedback to identify and fix bugs, merge branches to combine thoughts and ideas, and log our progress with each week.
Before you embark on your linguistic adventure, it's important to get accustomed to the main menu. When you first start up the game, you have access to 4 separate screens: New Game, Load Game, Options, and Credits. In the Options menu, your hero can change the audio to their liking. In the Credits, you can see the development team. In the Load Game screen, you can view 3 save files and you can load and delete them.
We can give our hero a name. We'll call him Bob, since that's what our team has been referring to him in testing, and it's kind of grown on us. Professor Word will give Bob a rundown tutorial on everything they need to know to play our game like a pro, including the basics of battle and how to navigate the overworld. Make sure to give it a read on your first playthrough, but I'll press escape to quit the tutorial since I've seen it more than a couple times before.
Whenever you're on the main map of any given region, you can access the Pause menu at any time with Escape. This menu gives you access to the default pause menu functions, like Resume and Options, but also includes Skill Tree, which lets you customize your character as you level up, and Letter Screen, which has a word score calculator that tells you how effective your anagrams will be when used against an enemy. Use it to see how effective certain words are when facing powerful foes. Now I won't give too much away, but if you type a certain word in a calculator, you can unlock a secret mode of play.
Now we head back to the overworld map. Bob can move around by pressing the arrow keys and can interact with encounters by pressing the E button. These white flames are companions. They'll help Bob in battle by fighting alongside him. Companions also have their own skill tree and effectively give you an extra turn. They include a healer for keeping your party alive, a mage with devious tricks up his sleeve, and a warrior that packs a punch. Make sure to find all three to form the perfect team.
Now we're ready to take on our first battle. Enemies in this game are denoted by enemy sprites on the screen. Be careful, running into them counts as a battle encounter. This is the layout of the battlefield, with our party on the left and the enemy party on the right. Each player and enemy has a certain amount of health, which is denoted by this red bar here. If that health drops to 0, the character dies. What Bob and Jenny have to do is drop all the enemies' health down to 0 before their health drops to 0. All your players also have a certain amount of mana, which is denoted by this blue bar, used to cast powerful skills.
You can use the arrow keys to shift between the battle options, and then select with the backslash key. Or you can just use the trackpad and click. Say I want to attack this healer enemy here. I would designate him as the target, and then type the longest word that I can think of from these letters. I'll type drop. As you can see, the word did 10 damage, and I'm one step closer to killing this healer. But let's say our team wanted to play defensively, anticipating an attack from the enemy. Then we can use defend with my other character, Jenny. If I type meat, it will give her 14 armor. Armor is kind of like a second health bar that prevents damage from even going through. Use it to your advantage. Our in-game fights also come with a killer soundtrack.
Once your character has gained enough experience points, you can press escape to access the main menu and then click on the skill tree. Here, you can spend points equal to your level to increase attack damage, gain health to last longer, or gain mana to use better abilities. We'll make Bob strong and level up his attack. You can do this for each stat up to 8 times, so make sure you fight as many enemies as you can to reach the max level.
Aside from raising the base value of these stats, increasing a stat has the chance of unlocking a skill. Skills cost mana to use and are improved versions of the base attack and defend. Take greater attack for instance. It's kind of like attack, but it hits for a ton of damage. It sure tires out Bob though. Frank's ponder ability can let him use more letters when he takes his turn, expanding his repertoire and making him a formidable foe.
Players can save their progress at these checkpoints here. They can also travel to different worlds through these cloud portals here. Our game features 3 unique overworlds: a field, a volcanic dungeon, and a snow-covered mountain. We tried to use a multitude of background objects and sceneries to make the game come alive.
NPCs are denoted by white flames and can also be interacted with using the E button. They'll give Bob and his crew helpful items for free to aid him on his journey. Through NPC and boss dialogue interactions, players can experience the story of our app involving a real-world writer with a bad day job and a wonderful imagination. Or an idiotic one, if you want to interpret it that way.
With over 20 battles and tons of NPC side quests, there's no shortage of fun. Do you have what it takes to stop Jack the Obelisk and his forces of evil?
We hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Thank you!